Okay, so we are now on. This is the very first in a series of Meet Your Expert. And so I'm really, really happy to have Denise with us today. And really, this is just very low key to give the parents some information about what we do and your expertise. So Denise, thank you so much. I'm going to let you introduce yourself because you can do it so much better than I can.
Okay, well, great. My name is Denise DeRosa, and I run digital wellness workshops. So I'm a digital wellness coach. I started my business Cybersensible in 2015, really to help parents to keep their kids safe online, to understand what they're doing, and to also kind of take a deep breath, because I think there's so much in the media that overwhelms us, that I really think it's important for parents to understand you're doing a good job, you're involved, here's some tips for you, but don't get overwhelmed by it.
Okay, no, that's a fantastic message. That's something that I say quite regularly about don't panic, just parent,
Yeah.
But what I also think is particularly interesting is your background, because you have a master's degree in communication, culture and technology from Georgetown University, and 15 years plus of experience, like with all the media people. So, I mean, how does this help you, this background, with technology and culture? How does that help you with what you advise parents?
Well, I think it gives me a different perspective from where some others in the industry are coming from, like psychologists and stuff, who bring a very valued perspective to this. I'm looking at it more from how media and technology affect our culture and how they interact with one another and sort of feed upon one another to affect our communications, to affect our relationships, to affect how we communicate with one another, how we get information, how we trust information, and just the kind of images that we're seeing, all of that stuff. It feeds into politics, art, music, family relationships, everything. So media and communication and technology really are, part of the foundation of who we are and how we interact with one another.
And I completely agree. And I think that's probably the biggest strength that I have in this digital parenting community on Facebook, is that the experts their backgrounds are so varied. I mean, yours is media and communication and culture. Mine is law and technology. We have others who are psychologists, others who are cybersecurity experts. I don't have a pediatrician yet. So if you have any pediatrician friends, let me know, because I think that, we all bring something to the table. So, So do you run digital wellness workshops, and this is in your area? Where are you located? What state?
So I'm in Bethesda, Maryland, which is just outside Washington, D.C. So I'm about 15 minutes outside the capital. Okay. And, but I go really anywhere. So anywhere that, somebody wants to invite me to have me come, stay for a couple of days, because I don't just talk to parents, I talk to students as well. So students from kindergarten all the way up through, I've done college talks as well.
Must have been
and
fun.
They focused a little bit differently. Yeah. So I've done, I did, one for an athletic team, a college athletic team, talking about really how they needed to be thoughtful and mindful of what they're sharing on social media.
Was this after some of the scandals where the athletes were getting caught with their tweets from years and years beforehand?
Yeah. So there was that sort of had fed into it. And I also had I'd been involved in a discussion where we discussed gender and online like reputation and representation. And it was like a workshop of women and these college leaders, like future leaders. These were college students, but really excelling in their areas. And we got into a great discussion about how women are represented online and how we are affected by what others think about us, see about us, our body images, all of that sort of fed into this really great open discussion about how a lot of what is shared online can be misrepresenting who you really are.
Right. Okay. No, I think all those are crucial issues for our parents, the parents of teenagers, of athletes, of cheerleaders, of just, students, of people. So that just brings me to one of my favorite questions. What would be your top 3 tips for parents, or your top 1, your favorite tip for parents?
Well, I think the number one, like my number one, is be a good digital role model. And I really think that that takes enormous reflection on the parent's part, because while we sort of roll our eyes at our kids who are talking on their phones or in a group and looking down at their phones and not at one another, I think that we need to recognize that we all do that. Okay, it's not just kids,
Right.
it's parents too, and it's adults in these settings as well. So, are you at your child's soccer game or recital and looking at your phone?
Mhm.
And are you sitting at dinner with your family and checking your email? So is it something that you're doing as well? You really need to kind of check yourself. As you're going through the carpool lane and picking up your kids at school, are you on the telephone? Because these are the things that kids say,
Right.
like, is what they're up against as well.
Right. I think there are a
Yeah.
lot of parents who are cringing right now saying, "Oh, I do that. Oh, I do that."
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. And
no, I
it's
think you're right. Being a good digital role model is huge. For
right.
myself as well.
Yeah, and even in this, in this business, we're all busy, right? And we're all trying to keep up with, requests for us to speak and up on the latest technologies and the latest, app that's got kids in trouble and stuff. So we're all interacting a lot on our devices. So, and we do it because we want to stay up to date, right?
Right.
So I think that we just need to recognize that we're all having trouble with limiting our time.
Yeah, no, I think that's 100% spot on. I think it's
Yeah.
really true. Just everything that you were saying as far as, checking the feeds and staying up to date. I find myself doing that a lot. And it's so
Yeah.
easy with a smartphone,
Yeah.
just to sit there and scroll and take a little peek. And before you know it, you're just sucked in and you haven't realized how much time you've spent. So I think that's
Yeah.
a really good one. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of parents are anxious and they're feeling frustrated and they think that they're not super tech savvy or that they're digital dinosaurs. What would you say to reassure them that, really that they are on the right track, they're doing the right things?
Yeah. So my second tip. So the number one, like I said, is be a good role model. My second one is to focus on the apps and devices that your kids are using, because I think what happens a lot is that we're hearing these, dangers and mishaps that are happening in the news. And so we get really kind of hyped up and concerned about, the latest danger. We need to kind of calm down, take it back to our house and recognize, okay, well, you know what? My kid doesn't even play that game, this latest game or this latest thing that has everybody so concerned. So I really think it's important to focus on whatever gaming system your kids use, what apps they use, what devices they have, focusing on those. Understand why your kids like to use this app or this game or whatever and how they're using it, and then take a look at setting up those parental controls or those privacy and safety settings, and just make yourself aware of what it is that they're doing and why.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I know that we've been sharing your social media feeds throughout our community. And then because you're in the community, sometimes if a question pops up, I will tag you if I feel like it's
Yeah.
something that's specific for you. But always, as always, just join in and answer. But what is the best way for any parents who want to do some further contact with you or get further support or book a workshop? How can they best get a hold of you?
So the best way to get a hold of me is you can visit my website, which is cyber-sensible.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram at Cybersensible, all one word. And I'm also on Twitter at Denise DeRosa. So those are my social profiles.
Okay. Okay. Well, like I said, it is just so lovely, and especially to have you be the first one to kick off,
I
because like I
know,
said,
this
I've
is
known
so
you now
great. It's so
for
great to see
4
you.
years. Yeah, it's just really cool. And I just think that what we're doing is just so important, and there's never enough of us out here doing this work. I've seen there's more and more digital parenting, digital wellness experts, and I'm like, I once heard someone say that the ocean is blue. There is enough
Yeah.
work for all of us. There's so much out there. So I was just really happy to be able to to share your resources with the community. So thank you so much.
And thank you. I'll just say one more quick thing is that I think it's really important for parents to recognize that, you know, we don't need to be perfect. We need to be practical. And so as long as you're in the game, as long as you're paying attention, you are probably, you know, you're probably helping your kids more than you think. So just don't put your head in the sand. Don't feel overwhelmed. Just dig in, you know, be present. And then I think that you are well on your way to helping your kids.
Well, that is going to be your new tagline, because I like that. Don't be perfect, be practical. I
Yeah.
love it. I'm going to start using it, but I will say that it's from Denise.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So
Thanks
great
so
to see
much.
you.
And for all of the listeners, please stay with us because there's more videos coming up, and just hang out in the community. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.